Baruch. Good morning, Botai. We've been speaking about the issue of using hot water from a boiler, from a hot water tank on Shabbat. We spoke about that. Maran Zichron Bracha, in his younger years, spoke about in Yabia Omer. He said that it would be asur because even though taking the water itself was boiled before Shabbat, but taking it out, opening up the hot water valve, then triggers, it allows new cold water to come in and get boiled, and that's an issue. Nevertheless, in his later years, Maran Zichron Bracha writes in his Chazon Avadia Shabbat Chelek Dalet, he writes a little bit different. Although in Yabia Omer he wrote that it's absolutely asur, he says asur behechlet, to use hot water from a boiler on Shabbat. Nevertheless, in Chazon Avadia Shabbat Chelek Dalet, he changes the wording a little bit. And he says, Tov lehachmir. He says it's preferable to be stringent and not use hot water from a boiler on Shabbat. That already, when you go from saying asur to Tov lehachmir, that already means something is up. So, Agon Rabbi Yitzchak Yosef, the Rishon LeZion, explains that his father in his younger years was a little bit choser, but he changed his mind, and he says that when you open the hot water and now the cold water comes in the beginning, in his younger years, he considered that to be a pasik reshe, a direct action or a direct result of your action of opening up the hot water, and that's asur. Pasik reshe is asur. However, in his older years, he changed his mind and considered it a little bit to be grama, which is an indirect action. He brings several reasons in the Chazon Avadia why it should be considered a grama, an indirect action as opposed to direct. And based on that, he writes that it's no longer isur gamur, but he writes it's tov leachmir. It is preferable to abstain from it. What's the difference? We still tell people, the halacha still is, we do not use hot water from a boiler on Shabbat, period. That's the halacha. However, the difference now is if you see a person doing it, or a person wants to do it, can you tell them off? Can you tell them, alo, that's asur? Now, according to what Maran Zichron Bracha says in his later sefer, you can't tell them it's asur. You say, listen, it's better to be machmir, but I can't tell you it's asur based on the Chazon Avadia. So that's the difference. We still say it's asur. Nothing changed in terms of the halacha. The question is, if a person needs it in a case of great need, or a person you see is doing it, you have to tell him off. That's the only difference. Be'ezrat Hashem, we'll speak about tomorrow. Another very big question, is there a difference between private houses and apartment buildings? Be'ezrat Hashem, we'll speak about that.